I want to talk about something that concerns all of us. All right, we're supposed to be a nation of peace, of love, and stability. Yes, we do have some knuckleheads that do run out there. Yes, that we do have. I'm talking about as far as crime, stuff like that. But I tend to believe that we all want what's best for this country. Correct? So, my experience, from what I've seen from both parties to a point, they say they're going to do something, they do it. Okay? To a point. Most of the time that I've seen Democrats and they have a Democrat House and a Democrat Senate, they get their job done. When Republicans get the House and Senate, they don't get much done. Okay? Because they're only looking out for their best interest. I'm not saying the Democrats are not doing it, but the Republicans are not making it more obvious. Okay? Nixon didn't do much for this country. Ronald Reagan didn't do much for this country. George Bush didn't do much for this country. Both Bushes didn't do much for this country. Okay? And Donald Trump has done nothing for this country. Okay? You can see from the Democrats, Bill Clinton did something, and Joe Biden and Barack Obama did something. Okay? You people are always saying, oh, my 401k is good. Everybody don't have 401k. The economy of the United States of America is not run by Wall Street. Never has, never will. But don't you want to live in a country that we all can get along? Where we all, even though we have different ideas, we respect each other. You have a president who's calling people Democrats. You have presidents that say that you're an idiot. You have presidents say you're stupid. That's not how you speak to people. You're the president of the United States of America. If you don't know how to speak the way Barack Obama speaks, or the way Michelle Obama speaks, or Hillary Clinton, or Bill Clinton, if you don't have that talk, you can reach out to people without insulting them, then don't say nothing at all. Right now, we are at a $40 trillion deficit, and it goes for both parties. But though the Democrat Party, the last one with Joe Biden, peaked up the debt, but what did he have? The Science and Act chip, Infrastructure Act, the Inflation Act, all that, right? That brought money. That brought medications down. People had jobs. More manufacturing jobs were coming in. As to Donald Trump, more jobs are losing out. Okay. At the end of the day, we want this country to strive. You want to stop calling people the N-word. Stop calling people who are on welfare lazy. Stop calling, because you don't know, one day you might need those services. That's what you pay for them. I'm in complete agreement that if you're able-bodied, you should go to work. You should. I don't care if it's in a McDonald's. I don't care if it's in a Burger King. I don't care if it's a KFC. I don't care. But you have to look at it from a logical point of view. These jobs only pay you $14, $15, $16 an hour, or even less. And you want to move out. Where are you going to find an apartment or a house that's going to be rented for $500 a month or $600? It's virtually impossible unless you go to a small town. And if you go to a small town, you're not going to get a good job in that small town. So we're back to square one. So people say, why would I apply for why would I get a house or an apartment when I can't even afford it? BlackRock is buying everything, and Donald Trump lets them. So when BlackRock buys, or Blackstone buys, a whole block of houses, they rent them out and they push everybody out. Now, instead of the rent being $1,000 a month for a 3-bedroom, now it's $1,400, $1,500 a month. Because the other guys who has the other renters who have apartments or houses, Now they have to raise up their rent so they can keep up with them. And that does not make sense that the government allows it. That's why everything is so expensive. And just the other day, Byron Donalds, the House of Representatives for Florida, said that what we're going through right now, the affordability it was because of the Democrats. Look, Biden hasn't been president in close to 2 years. How was it this? That Biden gave Donald Trump a good GDP. Biden gave Donald Trump a good unemployment. He left him with a good book. And I'm not saying that because I'm saying it. I'm saying it because it's true. Look it up, and that's the truth. Right? You have a man who, right before the presidency, said that he's not a man of war. That he's not a man of war, and he's not going to start no new wars. That he's going to fix the Russian war in one day. I didn't believe him, of course, but a lot of you did, and you voted him for that. Has it happened? No, it hasn't, because it's not as easy as it sounds. But he made it sound easy. He said, "Oh, you're good friends with Putin." He made it sound easy, and you guys believed him. He closed the border. Not too many illegals are coming in. What has that done? What has that done? I mean, a lot of people go to their country. All right. Yes, there are some few people who are caught who didn't belong here because they were committing crimes. But you took people out of their jobs, sent them to a country that they don't know nothing about. All those billions of dollars that they were making, because when they get paid by money, by cash, they will go on, they buy food, they buy clothes, they buy school clothes. All those billions of dollars are now gone. Are now gone. Donald Trump decided to do tariffs and say, "Oh, we're going to get money." We don't make money on tariffs because we pay the tariffs. That's business school 101. But you guys keep believing in this man's lies, and you keep believing in these Republican lies. The Republican Party of yesterday is no longer the Republican Party of yesterday. Every person is scared of Trump because they might do something. Yo, that's not the way the country works. You're not supposed to be scared of the president. You know, the president only has so much power. The one that has the most power is Congress, the House of Representatives, the Senate. They have the power, not Donald Trump. But Donald Trump tries to circumvent things. You know, I wish I can say, you know what, them's this, them that, but there's not much to say. You guys are afraid of Democrat socialism. Socialism. It's just a word. To be honest with you, if you looked at history, not even looked at you, but if socialism was done the right way, it can work. But like I said, I want people to work. You have to find people jobs. You have to find them transportation. You just can't send them in the boom unless they go get a job. And you got to walk 20, 30 miles just to get an interview. And then walk another 20, 30 miles just to come back. That's not feasible. How is that a person supposed to survive? You have a woman who has 2 or 3 kids. How are they going to survive? They got no one. They have no one who's going to take care of the child. They got no child care. I'm also against these women who are going out there and who are getting pregnant just to get food benefits. That's ridiculous. Don't you have any morals? And I'm independent. Don't you have any morals? Do you not have any morals? It's not what your country can do for you. It's what you can do for your country. There are people out there who never worked a day in their life. They got Section 8. They got food stamp. And they live and they can work, but they choose not to. I want to work because I want to make money. I want to work because I want to get the things that I like. I want to work because I want to sustain my wife. I want to work because there's a lot of things I want to work. Can I stay home? Okay? And if I get to lose my job, and I can't find a job, but I'll go to SNAP because I pay into SNAP. So I'll stay there for a while, get my 2 feet, and get back out. That's what the system was made for. But you guys keep believing in the fallacy that the Republican Party has given you. And it's not the way that it is. You decided not to vote for Kamala Harris because I've seen some of you guys, or most of you guys say, "Oh, it's the better of 2 people voting for Trump." No, you don't know what Kamala Harris would have done. right? But since she's a woman, that's straight up. She's a woman. She's a woman of color. You guys didn't want to vote for that. You didn't want to vote for a colored woman. That's when, whether she's black, Jamaican, whatever the hell, Indian, whatever she is. We need to vote for people who are in our best interest. Okay, give to God what belongs to God and give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. None of us here should be saying, "Oh, we say should be no abortion, should be no," because that's not a decision. That's a decision that's to be made by the woman. Okay, stop taking this from the Bible. Thou shalt not kill. If you don't know what that means, then don't say it. If you going back because your pastor said it's a sin because God said thou shalt not kill, there's a reason why God said that. Nothing to do with babies. There's a reason why God said that. Jesus never spoke about abortions. Jesus never spoke about adultery. Jesus never spoke about that. What did Jesus say? He who was free of sins, cast the first stone. We're all sinners. Just the same way that you guys were very reluctant to take the shot or to wear a mask because you said it's your body, right? So you chose. You didn't want the government to tell you what you can and can't do. So why would you want to tell a woman what she can and cannot do with her body? And then you do nothing to the man who got that woman pregnant. Because this is a man's world. It's a man's world. Oh, but they get child support. No, that doesn't make anything. That has nothing to do with anything. Whether they can't pay child support, whether they don't want to pay child support. That doesn't do anything. But you guys keep living on a fallacy land. You guys keep saying, "Oh, Biden's inflation was at 9 Yeah, Biden's inflation was at 9.2, but that was everybody's inflation because of COVID. Not that just Biden came in and he did something and boom, everything went up. No, it went up through the whole entire world. And Biden was the fastest one to bring it down. Jobs, he brought it down. Yes, there were a lot of people, like 12 million people that went back to their jobs from COVID, but there were also 8 million jobs created. A lot of manufacturing jobs here in North Carolina when he did the Infrastructure Act. A lot of highways were being fixed. There were a lot of roads that were being paved. There were new exits in highways. There were new entrances in highways. Toyota made a power plant for batteries here. A lot of companies have come to North Carolina. Aerospace companies have come to North Carolina. So we are getting things done, but not under Trump. Trump wants to fight wars. He goes into Venezuela, kidnaps the president, which is not supposed to be done, takes their oil, and sends the money from Venezuela to an account in Qatar. But no one says anything. He brings the Qatar plane, no one says anything. His son-in-law, Kirchner, makes money out of Saudi Arabia and a Muslim country. He doesn't say anything. But yet, you guys complain when someone wins an election or a primary and they're Muslim. What difference does that make? What difference does that make? The point here is that we are all supposed to be living, maybe not the same way because everybody makes more money, less money, but we all supposed to be living comfortable. And when something's not done right, you go and you're able to just speak, and hopefully that will get things done. But no, here you have to do riots. Here you have to do violent riots. For people to understand that we are your bosses. We voted you in. Our taxes pay your salaries. Are you gonna do everything we say? No, but at least come to a concession. And this is what we can do. Okay, there's no reason why we should have health care for all. There's no reason. There's no reason why we should build more houses. There's no reason why we should get more manufacturing jobs here. Things are going to be expensive. Why don't we try? But no, we're always meddling in someone else's business. In Iran, we're doing that. Or we're going to win the war. Billions and billions of dollars. 13 soldiers have passed away. Thousands of people, innocent people died in Iran for what? So you unalive one leader and his son takes over. That's not a regime change. You go over to Venezuela and you take over Venezuela and you remove Maduro, but you let the right hand man there, the right hand woman. That's not a change. That's not a regime change. You just wanted to exasperate what was already suffering, what was happening with the Venezuelan people. So you took advantage of that. Okay, you blew up boats, and then you tell the people, oh no, that these are criminal boats. No, it's very rare that a boat comes out of Caracas, Venezuela, or from Venezuela goes to the islands because it's too far. It's too far. Bolivia, yeah. Colombia, yeah. But Venezuela, no. Very, very little. And within a month, they blew up, what, 20 some odd people? That's murder. But they won't do that. They won't do that. So, why can't we come to a consensus that, you know, this bygone, all this bullshit goes, I say, you know what, this is what I'm going to vote for. This is what I want to be done. I want my community to be safe. I want this. I want this. I want that. I want this. All right? That shit, no tax on tip. There is no such thing as no tax on tips. That is a deductible. No tax on overtime. That's a deductible. Or you like I store that you know once you get paid, you do overtime. There's going to be no tax. No, you're still getting taxed. At the end of the year, you have a certain amount that you can deduct. So your federal payment is less, or you owe the IRS less. That's all it is. That's all it is. And then whatever tax breaks he gave you, he gave it until 2028. That's it. But the tax for the richest are there forever. Think about the Trump administration does not care about you. Maybe some other candidates who are Republicans do, but not this one. Okay? I would never vote for Rubio because Rubio's a patsy. Okay? I like Rubio until he did what he did. You know, until 2016, I think he should have won, but he was attacking too much Donald Trump, and he forgot the focus. He took the focus away from his campaign. You know, when you have people cheering in your ear, like you think, yeah, I'm going good. That's no good because he got off track. He's saying other things about Trump, and then all of a sudden he becomes Secretary of State. Instead of saying, no, I value my ideas. I can't do it. Thank you, but no thank you. And so I have others. Vance, he's not a Trump guy, but he liked the position of being vice president, so he sucked up to him. I don't vote for people like that. The Supreme Court has to be dismantled because the people that he chose are destroying what the law is supposed to be. They're not upholding the law. They're doing what he says. There should be term limits. No people in Congress should be able to profit from any stocks, not diverge. I mean, not pay anyone into stock. People in Congress, once they're out of office, they should get their own Medicaid or their Medicare or their own health insurance. We don't have to be funding their bill for the rest of their life. There's a lot of things that you can do in both Republicans and Democrats. Take away lobbyists. No more lobbyists. Why do you think drug prices are cheaper in other countries? Because they have no lobbyists. They will not allow lobbyists there. So you pay someone $100,000 here, or get this through, or make sure that it doesn't happen, and that's what happens. But we have to come to a unity. You may not like what I say, and I may not like what you say, but at the end of the day, we are sharing this country together. And if shit hit the fan, you're not going to be fighting the Democrats or Republicans. You're going to be fighting someone else outside. And what you're going to say, well, I'm not going to help you, King Gio, because you're a Democrat or you're independent. I'm going to say, oh, I see that you're bleeding, or this guy shot you, we get invaded, and I'm not going to help you because you're a Republican? No. That's the way it works. We're human beings. Election comes, let's see what he does. Okay, let's see what Donald Trump does. And what he did everything backwards. He's making himself richer. He's making his kids richer while you are suffering. Stop saying my 401k. Everybody don't have 401k. So let's stop. Everybody that's out there who's on Section 8, everybody that's doing welfare, try to get off the system. Build yourself up. Find something that job you can say, you know, I can transfer my job from here to there, and get yourself a house, get yourself a town, get something. Stop living. And I'm saying this as a liberal. Stop living on welfare. Stop living in government. I went back. I'm born and raised in New York. I went to Puerto Rico. I got remarried. Came back to New York. Yes, I did do the welfare game. I did the shelter game for 2 years. No, I was on welfare. I'm not lying. And I was working from 2016 all the way to 2020. In 2020, I saved up enough money that I bought a house in North Carolina, and I'm off the system. I used it. Thank you. I went in with an idea, and that's it. Stop staying in these Section 8 houses for 10, 20 years. You know that Section 8 helps you buy a house. And if you have SSI, and you have two people with SSI in your family, you don't even need that much good credit because they know that you can pay for that right there and then because you got two people who are in SSI, and that's a lifelong, that's a pain that's going to be there for life. They know that. There are many programs out there who will help you with down payment. You got a homestead. Every state in the United States has a program where they will help you put down that 10%. Then you got loans like FHA loans. Then you got loans like USDA loans. Then you got loans like FHA repair loans. And if you just buy the house, you can buy the house and they'll give you a repair loan and you can fix the house. There are so many programs out there to help you. Habitat for Humanity. Those are programs that would help you. But the government doesn't tell you these things. But there are programs out there that will help you become a first-time home buyer. Stop buying with credit cards and maxing out your credit cards. Stop doing this. Gain credit. Make credit. There's a lot of easy ways to make credit. Stop paying these people to remove credit things, negative reports on your credit, when you can do it yourself and you can sell those and you can save yourself hundreds of dollars. It's very simple and easy to do. Okay? So it's time for you, as Republicans, Democrats, it's time for you to take the country back. And we could argue, we could agree to not agree, agree to disagree. But at the end of the day, we're drinking coffee, you guys drink a beer, and we're still human beings, we're still partners, we're still comrades because we are in the same boat. We have one mission, and that is to succeed, that's to make this country better. But if you're going here, and I'm staying here, and this is my mission, but you're going here because Donald Trump is telling you this. You're going here because you're saying all of the immigrants. You're saying all this because you're saying that we got to get, and we're not going to get nowhere. Because as you're removing all these people from this country, you're losing money. People who have not committed a crime at all, they're losing money. But if we come together with the same purpose in mind, like I said, we could agree to disagree, we'll be a better hell of a country. Don't you think?